Leo Echegaray was a convicted prisoner who had been sentenced to death. His case eventually reached the Supreme Court, and the death penalty became final. At that time, the Philippines had a law allowing the death penalty. Republic Act No. 8177 provided for lethal injection as the method of execution. Echegaray challenged the constitutionality of the lethal injection law. The court ruled the law itself was valid, but found legal problems in its implementing rules. The court ordered that the law could not be implemented until those provisions were amended. Eventually, the decision became final and Echegaray's execution was scheduled. But something unexpected happened. Congress began discussing the repeal of the death penalty law, leading his lawyers to question the timing of the execution. On December 28, 1998, Echegaray asked for a temporary stay. With the execution days away and the court on recess, the situation was extremely urgent. The Chief Justice called a special session. In just a few hours, the court issued a temporary restraining order, or TRO, stopping the execution. This created a major controversy. The government argued that once a decision is final, the court no longer has jurisdiction to stop the execution. They argued that stopping the execution was a reprieve, a power belonging only to the president. However, the Supreme Court strongly disagreed. The court explained that while they cannot change a final judgment, they still have the authority to execute and supervise how that judgment is carried out. Supervening events can happen after a judgment becomes final. The court must have the ability to respond if immediate execution becomes legally questionable or unfair. This is an essential part of judicial power, not an executive function. It ensures the separation of powers between the legislative, executive, and judiciary. The court noted that if a convict becomes insane, the judiciary can stop the execution. This judicial power coexists with the president's power to grant reprieves. Ultimately, there is no higher right than the right to life. The TRO was a temporary measure to see if Congress would change the law. The case teaches us that finality of judgment does not mean the court loses all power. It loses the power to modify, but retains the power to enforce.